Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, December 5th. President-elect Donald Trump told a Cincinnati audience this week that he intends to make some big changes in U.S. foreign policy. During his thank you tour in the Midwest, Trump had this to say: "We will pursue a new foreign policy that finally learns from the mistakes of the past. We will stop looking to topple regimes and overthrow governments. In our dealings with other countries, we will seek shared interests whenever possible." If this is really to be President Trump's foreign policy, it would be a welcome change from the destructive path pursued by the two previous administrations. Such a foreign policy would go a long way toward making us safer and more prosperous, as we would greatly reduce the possibility of a blowback attack from abroad, and we would save untold billions of dollars with a foreign policy of restraint. However, as we know with politicians, there is often a huge gap between pronouncements before entering office and actions once they're in office. Who can forget that President George W. Bush's foreign policy promised as a candidate 16 years ago? As a candidate, he said, "I am not so sure the role of the United States government is to go around the world saying this is the way it's got to be. If we're an arrogant nation, they will resent us. If we're a humble nation but strong, they will welcome us." Unfortunately, as soon as he took office, George W. Bush pursued a completely different foreign policy, attacking countries like Iraq at the urging of the neocons he placed in positions of power in his White House and State Department. Some people say that the personnel is policy and that much can be predicted about Trump's foreign policy by the people he has appointed to serve his administration. That is where we might have reason to be worried. Take Iran, for example. While Trump says he wants the U.S. to stop overthrowing governments, on the issue of Iran, both the candidate and his recent appointees have taken a very different view. Trump's pick for National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn, has said the following about Iran: "I believe that Iran represents a clear and present danger to the region and eventually to the world, and regime change in Tehran is the best way to stop the Iranian nuclear weapons program." Trump's CIA choice, Mike Pompeo, has said of President Obama's Iran deal: "The Iranian regime is intent on the destruction of our country. Why the president does not understand is unfathomable." And Trump's selection of Defense Secretary General James Mattis was even more aggressive, saying, "The Iranian regime, in my mind, is the single most enduring threat to stability and peace in the Middle East. Iran is not an enemy of ISIS. They have a lot to gain from the turmoil in the region that ISIS creates." Donald Trump's words in Cincinnati don't seem to match up with the views of the people that he's assigning to high places, at least when it comes to Iran. While I hope we can take President Trump at his word when it comes to foreign policy, I also think we should hold him to his word, especially his encouraging words last week. Will the incoming president have the ability to rein in his more bellicose cabinet members and their underlings? We can be sure about one thing: if Trump allows the neocons to capture the State Department, keeping his foreign policy promises is going to be a lot more difficult. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number, 888-322-1414, every Sunday. The written text can be found on my Ron Paul Institute website at www.ronpaulinstitute.org and on my Facebook page.